Okay, I just need to fix something before you start. Okay, that's it. Okay, we're ready.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, guys, so I'm here today with the guys from Pic-Time, and we thank you guys so much for coming on board the awards as sponsors this year, and all the support that you give to the photography community through workshops and award programs, and just in general the platform that it provides to us to run our businesses. Before we sort of came on, I was telling you how I'm currently with one of the other companies, Pixie Set, but I was really interested to look into how things are done inside Pic-Time, and I came across it last year when some of the entrants had to send their sort of proof of entry to the awards, and I was getting these amazing emails to remind me to make the most of discounts that were going on within their sales platform, which was all through Pic-Time. And so that really piqued my interest. And yeah, so catching up with you today, I guess, is partially about that, and maybe looking and exploring how someone like myself might sort of move across to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to sort of hear a bit more from you guys about how you came about and how you are where you are now in terms of the business, and then yeah, have a bit of maybe dive into a little bit of the program side of things.
Okay. So first of all, we're based in Israel. Our company is based in Israel, and we've been for a few years. In the beginning, the business was more for white labels, so big studios were using it. And 5 years ago, we shifted to the photographers, the independent photographers, which was the original idea. And it took a year to kind of rebrand and everything, and work on how things on the interface. And 4 years ago, we launched, and it's been going really great. I think that our main focus is to help photographer create. Amir likes the word leverage the photos into a successful business. It's true. I always don't like to use big words because it sounds like marketing of a big corporate.
Yeah.
Yeah, like leverage your photos. But this is like really what stands, the lines that stands behind everything that we do in the system and how we develop the system. Because we have like the galleries. This is something that a lot of we have some solutions in the market, and the question is, where is it growing to? How is the base of this service develops? And I think that the target that we're going to is really about creating a healthy business for the photographer around the images. So how he can leverage his images into something that will be successful and healthy in terms of income, of course. So we really focus on that.
Right. A lot of us, a lot of us photographers, we're great at taking pictures, and then it might be on a Saturday, and then that week we're doing the processing and editing, and we get that gallery up. But one thing that I've certainly found is remarketing that content, that body of beautiful images, once that client has received them, is something that falls by the wayside, because before we know it, we're into the next week of the busy season, and you sort of move on from that workflow.
This is really, I think, part of it is I think that the online, being professional is not only using the right tools and the right camera in the beginning or creating the good website. It's also continuing the relationship and after you deliver the image, what is going on in the online area after you deliver the images. And this is the place where not stretching not in a good way, but like extending more into this area.
Yes, I think most photographers, of course, you have photographers that have their mind calibrated also for the online world, but for most photographers, most of their engagement with their clients is during the physical connection or during the meetings and during the session itself. And after that, it will end up by, let's try and see what we get, right? Let's put a gallery and that's it. You can be more active or less active. And what we're trying to do is that not for every gallery, but you'll set up all kinds of business rules or business philosophies, how you approach different galleries. And then the system will take care of that. But the engagement will continue into the online world. It will not stop. So a lot of things will happen for you automatically, but you have to decide what is your business strategy, what is your philosophy, how you manage your clients post the session, because this is basically a much longer period than the physical.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
that's exciting.
We see a lot of potential there. We think we did some of it, but we don't think we exhausted all the options there. We have like a spoiler, we're working now on a major upgrade for the whole gallery and store, which is a major thing for us. We call it Pic-Time 2. It's like something that we think that the industry moved from handing over negatives to CDs and then to USB, and now just delivering files. But when you go to the online world, it's not just like changing the mechanics of how you deliver the photos. There's a whole world opening for you with engaging with your clients for a longer period, with their second circles or third circles, like friends or family, close family. And there is a lot of opportunities, and the industry can change the way it's operating in these areas. And this is what we're here to do, or try to do.
Yeah.
One thing that this is quite selfish of me, because I'm getting to speak to you guys direct, and this is actually from me for my business, but it may apply to a lot of other people as well. Is back in the old days, probably 7 or 8 years ago, at each wedding I would hand out, I'd just pop on the table some little cards that would say, hey, the photos from today are going on an online gallery where you can jump on in and check out the images, and you can order images and download and stuff like that. And people would do that. They'd hang on to those cards, and then they'd visit my website and go onto the couple's gallery. But what I was having to do was write an individual password on each of those little cards, or stamp it onto the cards to actually then get out to those people in advance, and then use that same password for them to be able to log into. And I wonder whether there's a simple solution to that, whether it's, the couple giving the email addresses for all of the guests beforehand so that you can invite them to the gallery, or are there sort of systems in place to allow that kind of thing to happen, or is it more reliant on the couple to send an email out to all of their guests to say, hey guys, all our wedding photos are online, check them out, kind of thing?
So it's first of all, this is a very interesting and complicated problem, how to get more guests into the galleries.
Before the gallery, like even before the event.
Even before the event.
Yeah.
And there are all kinds of tools that we have. We have a capability for pre-registration, so you don't have to have a different card. You can have the URL for the gallery, and people can come in, and it says the gallery is not ready. Leave your email, and we'll let you know when it's ready. Mm-hmm. And by the way, when you're using this capability, it doesn't mean that when you set the gallery online, all the guests can see it.
Yes.
You have an option for you. It's your configuration, but you can set it up so the main client, your main client, they will have to approve or say, okay, now I'm letting others in, because I've removed photos that I don't want others to see. So you can hide photos from the rest, and so on. So there's tools for that. It depends on the gallery, on the level of privacy you want. So there's a few levels of privacy that can be set up. So it can be private. You can set up public link, or we have a very strict capability. We have our security protocols goes to a very secure level where you can send the only personal links, which will make it very difficult for others, even if they have the link, to log in.
Right.
So when you're sending your personal link and you log in, these links become associated with a password that you create yourself. So the user.
As the couple.
And that's it. So other people cannot use this link without knowing the password. So there's all kinds of mechanisms for different levels of security. So for example, then you would want this type of privacy.
Sure.
And for events, for a company, maybe it's less sensitive. So it depends on, sometimes it is also. So it depends on the level, but you have the capability to have a simple link where people can get in. You can also get it from the photographer's website. So you can integrate kind of a portfolio into your website where you list galleries to go into this page, and people can access your gallery from this page. So they can go to your website, find galleries, click, and then go through all the drills. So there's all kinds of options around that.
We even have an app.
We have an app. We even have an app. We didn't discuss this app, but the apps are kind of tools, business tools, that we have a library of lots of different business strategies where you can say, I want to use these business strategies. You install them, you configure them, and then you can attach them to different galleries.
Amazing.
And one of the apps is it's called Boost Visitor Traffic Visitor Boost, something like that. And it deals exactly with this, how you communicate before even the photos were taken with guests and trying to promote the gallery.
A discount for the guest, I think, and it's all built there. So it's ready for you. You can just get in, see how we structured it. It's all based on methods that photographers have been using. So this one is by Jeremy Chu. I never know how to say it correctly, but he's a photographer from the US, and he was really keen to like work on this. This is what he did manually each time. So we created like something that they can get into, and then he gave them some kind of a discount even before the gallery was ready, just to get like, so they would register. So they get 5%. Yeah, for pre-registration. So like all things that photographers has been doing manually, and we kind of created an like automation flow for that. So definitely check that out if you're interested in
that.
We'll get to the maybe we'll show it. So we'll talk about. But in general, this whole concept of this apps, this automation apps, which are you can choose. Basically, we did one of the two. Either there's a famous photographer that we saw that they're successful and we approached them, or in the system we had identified successful photographers doing
successful things. Yeah,
we approached them, and basically these apps are always developed with somebody. That the idea is that a photographer that wants to use it simply can install it and use it. You can configure, you can set it up, but it's coming fully set up for you. So you can.
It's almost like adding a plugin. It's like adding a plugin to your WordPress website, for example, to do something specific.
Yes.
Kind of. Yeah.
The idea is that it's coming fully configured, but it has a lot of flexibility point, and it follows a specific business strategies, a specific approach with your clients. You can have multiple apps for this type of project or for this type of client, so you can mix and match apps for different galleries.
I'm excited. Should we jump on in and have a little look then? Can you share your screen and check it out?
Let's see. You need to click on this. No. Yes. And then share. He hasn't been using Hangout for a while. We're doing Zoom more now.
I love it.
Okay. So let's start so let's start with the gallery. So galleries can there's all kinds of flexibility levels in the gallery, and in the gallery for us there's a few main things we want. so the gallery needs to present well the brand. It needs to look nice. It needs to stream photos in a high quality and quickly. There are all kinds of issues around that, and this is a main thing for us when we're talking about a professional gallery. So you can choose the gallery design. You can also customize colors and so on. And you can see here the stream. A little orientation. Here you have the different, we call it scenes in the project.
Can I ask you a quick question just while we're on this subject, because this is something I've always been curious about, is do you see a difference in sales from photographers who separate out into those scenes of the day versus just having one big collection? Do people do that? Does anyone just have all of the photos in one collection?
So we don't have statistics between these two options.
Yeah.
And this is an interesting question. I can tell you only from a general UX perspective that we know it's very important to categorize it. It really helps. It leads people. If I want to see something from the ceremony, it's very easy for me to access there.
Yeah, and that'll be more relevant to some people than, say, someone might want to just go in and check out the party photos from the reception because they remember.
Yeah. I think that the challenge is, especially in weddings, not less in portrait and family, but in weddings is dealing with the amount of images. So I think that one of the things that you can do to help is cut it through segments that you can, find your thing there.
Yeah. So there are all kinds of styles for the galleries. You can have with different gaps or different density of the photos. We have this capability here that you can see that you can give more weight to some photos than the others, and it creates a more interesting story where you go through that.
Beautiful.
So here, let's say I'm looking at that. So the system gives it to you automatically at the beginning, but both the photographers and the main client can go in and change it and design the stream. So you saw the speed that I can go in and move things around. And another thing that you can integrate a video into, it can be a slideshow or it can be other videos. You can integrate them into the stream.
Yeah, so we could use Smart Slides, who's also a sponsor. You can export something out and stick it in here.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you can also add text to each of here. We don't have, but you see here on the highlights there is some text. So there's all kinds of things you can use to make the gallery looks better how you want it to look. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I can go in, mark my likes.
By the way, just one note about how the gallery looks. You can also upload GIFs to the gallery.
Animated GIFs.
Animated GIFs. So the gallery, we have, we'll show you a gallery that is like this. It creates some kind of a very small movement inside the gallery when you go through it, and it looks really nice.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. We'll show that.
Yeah.
And photo. You can go in, mark photos to send, to share, and so on. And for example, I want to see my likes. These are my likes, or my shares, the collection for sending by email or Facebook.
So good. And so we could also use this, say, if I was shooting at this venue, Nicole Mason, your work is beautiful, by the way. That I could basically create a small collection of images from this venue and drop that easily into an email for the venue and send it to them.
Yes. Yeah, you can do that. That I would do from the back end. But you can do it also from here. Yes, you can go in and create this one and then send it to them, and they'll get a gallery only with these photos.
If the gallery is private, they will get only these photos, and if the gallery is open, they will first get these photos, and then the rest will follow in a different scene. So it will be separated.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, if for impulse buy, if I see a photo, I say, wow, it's nice, and I see buy, then it will give me all kinds of purchase options depending on my store. So here, let's say it can be frames, okay, and I can play with that and see if it how it looks with different frames. I can
change the
crop. It tell me, okay, the resolution is not.
Yeah, it's a low res gallery, so
yeah,
it's so clever.
Okay,
and so would all of this be set up in the initial setup of the back end, obviously, when you're setting up your Pic-Time structure, I guess you could call it, when you initially start? Would this all be like these frame choices, for example, would that all be stuff that would have been input by the photographer from their lab, or how would you?
We'll get to the settings, but in general, there's a pool of products. It's a large pool of products that we offer, and you can select which one you want, and from any of the 25 labs that we work with, each product can be from a different lab. It's not that you're marrying to a single lab. You can mix and match, and whatever works. Or if this lab does not produce a specific product, you can go to another one. And there's also the option to self-fulfill. You say, I will give me the order and I will fulfill it with my own lab that is not part of the fulfillment network of Pic-Time. And you can add also custom products that are not part of this bucket of products, and there you can add whatever you want.
Okay. Great. And you guys are linked up with Atkins Pro Lab, I think, one of our other sponsors.
Atkins and the Celdex now.
Yeah, but definitely.
That's okay.
I probably missed you something that I should cut it off.
I love it. No, that's fine. It's important that there's competition out there for Atkins Pro Lab, even though they are the best. That's okay. We can mention others as well.
Yeah, no, they're great. I mean, they were the first for, I think it's been 2 years now or something like this, but they were the first, and we're trying to give photographers really flexibility with what they want, and we keep choosing the good labs with a lot of interest from our end on how the product, like the quality and everything. So this is something we really keep an eye on, and we have over, like Amir said, over 25 labs that are all over the world. So if you have clients, we'll get to it. Never mind. So anyway, you can control the products, and
right. And just out of curiosity, what percentage of photographers that use your product would be wedding photographers versus portrait?
I think around 35% are doing weddings, and then there's all kind of portraits, and there's product, there's other photographers as well.
Wonderful. Okay, cool.
It's a major segment for us, weddings.
Right.
Okay, now, so when you're watching, another cool thing about the gallery, visitors come, go through the gallery, let's say grandmas from both sides, if it's a wedding, and they may like photos, they may enlarge photos, so the system tracks the photos they like. And now when you go to the store, the system will show you the store populated with the photos from the gallery, and for each user, the photos they liked. So I'm getting a personalized catalog of the products, something that will be closer to me.
Something that you can connect with because it's including something that you liked straight up. Really. It's kind of like in the portrait days where you'd sit people in your studio, which a lot of people don't necessarily have these days, and there would be particular things that you wanted to sell up on the wall. Obviously not of that person, but you try to get them to envisage themselves in that. Whereas here, pretty much doing it for them.
So the photographer can mark at the beginning their likes, and this will be the baseline for all the users. But when the user when the system starts to gather information about the specific user, then it will update according to the specific user's rating or likes.
Yeah, cool.
Not only likes, it's a few things they are doing around the gallery.
Mm. Almost like there's a cookies inside this in a way that kind of shows up what that person finds relevant.
So the cookie is not storing this data. There's all kind of privacy and security around it, but it identifies the specific user, and we hold this information on the server.
Yeah,
so, now I'm getting to the store. You can see this is an example for a store. There are all kinds of products. So these are the products I've selected for this store.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And let's start with an album. This is, let's say, I think the most complicated product. So what the system did here, it took my rating and ran through and created a personalized design for me. Okay. And this personalized design is based on which photos I liked more. They'll get a bigger spot and so on. And I can go in and edit it. So I can go in and say, you know what, I want it to be this way. Or, okay, I want it to be done this way. Or let's see other options.
And so I could use this to do pretty much all of my album design if I needed to.
Yeah, the client can do it.
You can do it, and also the client. The main focus for us that the client will be able to do it. And we do have a lot of photographers that are using this tool themselves. But the idea is that you can, and there's all kinds of business strategies that can go with that. But the idea is that the client, you can still sell albums, make money out of it, but not go through the whole trouble of doing it with all the cycles and changes. The main thing, so for the main clients, maybe in some cases, depending on the business model, there are photographers that would prefer to still sell a manually designed album. Mm-hmm. But it will be a very good thing to approach the second circle, what we call the grandmas and the mothers. So they can do their own private personalized album and organize themselves. And there is an option for you also to design it for them. So you can design it like very quickly, like we did here, and then send it to a visitor. So you can go in. This is an option that exists for the photographers. And when I'm clicking on it, basically it will allow me to send this design to users. And they will start from this design, and they can modify it by themselves. They don't need you. So it's a starting point. And you can, by the way, you can also charge additional design fee if you want for that, and so on.
Yeah, wow. I know.
How do you go about your albums?
So at the moment, I design my albums inside Smart Albums, and then I use Queensbury out of New Zealand for my albums. But this sort of makes me think about like parent albums. At the moment, the parent album is a direct replica of the main album, and the couple can choose to add them to their order. And it's kind of like an add-on sale for me, where I can sort of say, hey, here's your final album design. Also, by the way, if you want parent albums, just let me know and you can order them, but they're exactly the same. So there's no customization available for those parents. And so then that has to take into account in terms of the way you design the album. It then has to be quite a bit of a quality in terms of how much you show of each family and things like that. So it does affect your design somewhat. So this allows for some flexibility in being able to say, send your folks to this and they can design it however they like.
Yes. Yeah. So again, depending on the business model, if some photographers want to see that as part of the business, so for the main client, they can still do that, and we support the client selection. So if you're doing it manually, you can still use other features in the system. We'll show it in a second, that you can ask your clients to select the photos for you for the album, and then there's a selection workflow. It's not just favorites, selection workflow for them. And then you can also upload the spreads for proofing. So there is also like the offline album design support here in the system.
Yeah. So currently what I do is I get them to go in and choose their favorites and create a favorites folder, and then I export that list to Lightroom and then bring up that list of, say, 120 photographs, which I then use to create the design.
Okay, so there's another thing here, which is the Lightroom plugin. The Lightroom plugin allows you to synchronize automatically. You don't need to do this export and so on. If you're using the Lightroom plugin, the favorites and the selection workflows will reflect automatically in the Lightroom, and
Amazing.
you're able to see them. But yes, this workflow is supported as well. We'll go through additional products.
Yeah, maybe one word about the product. I think if you ask about, I mean, you didn't ask, but if we're talking about that are different from other solutions, I think that the variety of images, the variety of products that we have in the store is really wide, and like it helps your brand as well, because you know you have more professional products in your store, and of course it's you can edit and curate what products do you want to include, but it does like it's kind of a rich offer for your clients.
And all these products are professional products. It's not like a merchandise thing. So it's
no, it's stunning.
So I think this is a quick go through on the client side.
Yeah, we can go into the.
We can go. Maybe one more thing to say about the client side. I'll just say it. I will not go and show it, but if you're doing so, for example, if you're having a repeat customers, like you're doing the engagement session and then a wedding, and maybe after that family portraits and so on, the system will create an account for the user, and all these galleries will be under the same place. And when you order albums or any product in the store, you'll be able to mix and match from multiple galleries into the same, only your galleries, into the same product. So you kind of create a long-term connection with your clients. So
relationship,
which is the professional image repository service that you can give them.
So good.
Okay, so this is the backend. This is the photographer side, and like the main dashboard. And there's a few areas in the system you can look for. And let's have a look on
so it's got its own analytics, basically.
Sorry?
It's almost looked like it almost has its own analytics.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
So it has a basic analytics where you can go through. This is part of it, and there's also other statistics that are being measured, and there's user activity. There's a log for every user action, where you can see when they added to the cart, when they ordered, when they logged in, and all these things are, you have an interface, you can see all that. And now I will get into a demo project that we just saw before. Okay, and also this one, now I'm seeing it not in the scope of all the account, but only in the scope of this project. So I can see the access to this project. This is a demo, of course, gallery that we use. And if we go through the process quickly, we talked about the ability to change the cover. So you have all kinds of cover designs you can go through. If you want to change, the color and so on. Okay, you can also use some presets that we've prepared for you. We're always trying to
make it easy.
Try to. It will look good without too much effort. I won't go through all the details, right? A major thing around the upload. The uploading here in Pic-Time is, again, it's very different from other platforms. We give you the ability at the beginning to use the standard browser upload, but after we give you the option, and after a while we're trying to push you, although we always give the option to stick with the browser upload, you can install an uploader app on your computer, on Mac and PCs. And basically it's very similar to what Dropbox will do and so on. There's an app that works in the background and will deal with the heavy lifting. So when you get here and you, so first of all, it supports all kind of, okay, here it's not a stop. It supports drag and drops and things, so you can drag folders and it will create all the scenes from the folder and so on. But the major thing is it will first upload a low-res presentation of the images. So the gallery in minutes is ready to be sent out. In Australia, there's a lot of places with slower internet connection.
Yeah.
And this is very useful, that you can dump the whole gallery into it, and in minutes you will be able to send it out. And then the high-res backup for download or for the store, it will take more time. It will take the hours for the upload to complete, but the user can start see the gallery immediately. So this is the second thing is, if you close the browser or the computer goes to sleep, the system will continue from the last, will continue the uploading when it's back live. So you can close, you can close the browser, it will continue upload, but if the computer shuts down, when you bring it back up, it will continue to upload. So this is also for the robustness of the upload process, not needing to do things over again. The last thing is that the uploader is running a JPEG optimizer on the fly. So I don't know if you're aware of JPEG Mini.
Yes. Yep.
So it's a similar solution. If you're using JPEG Mini, then we will use the files as is. If not, it will do the same process. It will optimize the JPEG on upload, so it's a faster upload and a faster download for your clients. So the upload process is an interesting part. As we said, you can also attach videos and upload GIFs. There's a lot of setups. Again, we won't go through that, but the privacy, showing on portfolio, rules for the download, how the download is being made, do you want to count the download, and so on. So there's lots of configurations where you can do. And the sales automation. Here you bind or attach to the project a sales automation app. So I'll show you here, there's all kinds of apps that I've configured. So these are all my business.
That's amazing.
So these are all the apps that I've configured. Let's for a second just add the early bird and expiration. So it tells me the standard is 12 months. Do you want to change it? Do you want to start now, or do you want to delay it? And I'll go with that. So the system added now this app to the project, and now that's it. Now, when users first log into the gallery, they'll get banners according to the configuration of the system. They'll get an email and a banner saying, here you have, if you purchase anything in the store or whatever I configured, you'll get a discount. And if a user logs in 4 days later, it will manage for each user these 2 weeks. So people will get an equal opportunity there. And then it will know to shut down this campaign for the different users. And then it will know in 12 months to start an expiration campaign saying your gallery is going to expire, this is your last chance to order, and so on. So
that's phenomenal.
Let me just run through a preview and show how it does. So this is a tool for the photographer to see how the gallery would look like for the different users in the different states. So I'll go to this gallery here. And you see, when the campaign, you see it's a different thing now. I'm getting, so here there's lots of banners, there's a configuration, we'll see that in a second. But here I have a top banner that stays up all the time. And I have the large banner with this design. And I have here also an in-stream banner with a timer. So these are a few options. I can also...
You are a clever sausage.
It said, keep quiet, let him react to that.
This is very good, guys, very good.
Okay, thank you. And there's additional things you can do, like in the rotator banners in the store. I'm not getting into that. So this is, for example, the early bird thing. And let's simulate now how expiration would look like. So now this is during the expiration. So it's a farewell discount. You see it's a different message, and
it will again populate the images.
And yes. So for example, here you see when I'm zooming, it will populate my favorite image into the selected products. Okay. So this is an example for an app, a sales automation app. Okay, so basically what I did now is just to show you how it will look for the user. But as a photographer, I just needed to go in, choose, click on that, and I'm done. And the system will start running, and it tells me now this app is in the early bird promo. After that, it will go to a sleepy mode, and then it will go back to the expiration mode, promo. So this is this app.
I'm assuming, given how much I can see that you've already thought of, that this will exist, but I'm assuming you can set up a default for that just goes across the board with all of your galleries if you needed to. Like if you wanted to every time to have this early bird gallery app come up on a privacy to be set a certain way, and that kind of thing, and maybe even to have the scenes of the day automatically create.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes, you can set up templates. We call them project templates. You can set up that all the configuration is kept. You give it a name, and when you start a new project, it asks you which template do you want to use, and it will auto-populate your project with these settings. And apps is one of them.
Amazing.
So let's go here for the sales automation. So I'll start. This is our apps library. Okay, so there's all kinds of business apps here. So we seen before the early bird, but we have lots of others. So when let's say when I want to use or install. So sorry. These are all the apps that are already installed in the system. Okay, and I can see, for example, how many people viewed emails or banners, and how many people are clicked on that, and what's the conversion for the apps, and so on. Okay, so this is these are already installed. Basically, the idea is that this is a demo. We're running a lot of apps. Basically, the idea is that you should not have too many apps installed.
Yeah.
You pick a few apps as your pattern of doing business. You configure them, and then you just reuse them. That's the philosophy here. So if I want to install, let's say, this early bird gallery, I'll click in. I'll always have kind of a top-level video explaining about the app, and then a more technical video explaining of how to click the different buttons. And I have an explanation and let's say a diagram that shows how these apps work. Okay, so here I just have the technical thing. So I have different apps. We just quickly go through them. So the early bird and expiration creates a promotion for users when, so that the first, let's say, X days, 2 weeks, that user log into the gallery, they'll get a promotion to help them purchase. And then before the gallery expires, existing gallery backup, it's an app that it's a different expiration. It says when the gallery goes to expiration, you can have a campaign to buy prints and so on, but you can also add another product, which is backupping or keeping the gallery live product. And when people buy it, it's like a subscription. They're subscribing like to any online service, and it will be a yearly payment they'll pay you in order to keep the gallery live.
Amazing.
Gallery migration, this is an app that was prepared for people after doing a migration of their galleries to Pic-Time. Like, for example, you have a lot of galleries.
I'm going to get off of here after this and start doing that.
So we have a service for that. Yes, that will help you move the galleries from other services. After this is completed, then you can run this gallery migration, and it will. It's a packaged campaign promotion that tells you, here I've moved to a new gallery. You have lots of products you can order from, and so on.
So this whole chain of communication with your clients is ready for you of letting them know of the transition you made and like the discount they can have in the store now. So it's already, you don't.
It's an opportunity for you to
capitalize on some sales that you missed. Yeah.
The gallery visitor boost. This is what we talked about. This is an app that focuses on increasing the traffic by using this early pre-registration of users and giving them a promotion and so on. So this, you can see.
So Jeremy.
Yeah,
we talked about
the app from Jeremy, and there's additional materials of education that you can get from Jeremy.
Right.
And so there's others. There's Gallery to Backup. This is from Sam Herod. This is a whole approach of from before the gallery is uploaded until the expiration. So, for example, for Sam, he says that it takes him time to release photos. So there's a chain of emails that you send to your clients. I've started to progress on the photos. So you're kind of keeping in touch with your client before. So there's, I won't go to explaining the whole thing, length of what this app is doing, but it's also, it's like a full solution where there's communication with the clients before the photos are published, and then an early bird, an expiration with the backup.
So we have some apps that are the full kind of workflow of photographers. So Sam was one of them. We have from Bench.
So a few small name photographers. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting to kind of follow what they already have been doing and putting it into something
automated.
that is automated.
Yeah. It's essentially one of the main things, because these people have been doing it for so long, to basically be able to learn from them and apply some of them. Yeah.
Yes. So we, as I said, we went to people that you saw that they are successful, whether some of them are known, some of them were less known, and we worked on their strategies. We packaged it and we placed it into the system. Another example that I really like is a simple sales system. This is like a whole business solution for portrait photographers. It creates, in your community, do you have portrait photographers?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So
there's different ways of doing that as well, I guess. There's a lot of people that, for a lot of portrait photographers, I would imagine, you have a picture in your mind of portrait photographers sitting people in for a purchasing appointment that you'd book them in for to happen after the event of the actual shoot session, and you'd sit them down and you'd show them all the products and all that kind of stuff. Whereas this doesn't require that, does it?
Yeah. So the idea here of Enemy is, as I said, it's a whole approach. We really liked it, and this is if you're a portrait photographer, I really recommend diving into this. We see that it is very successful. Basically, the idea is to kind of benefit from all worlds, the in-person sales, the all-inclusive, like taking the benefits from everything and try to build it into a workflow where you do not pay the burden of, for example, I guess you need to spend a lot of time sitting with your clients and selling to them, and not all photographers like to do that, or the all-inclusive where you, by definition, leave some money on the table. So it's a system that help you upload the photos, you attach the app, and then there's a whole state machine that works with your client, like showing them the preview, and they need to make a decision between packages, and when they select the package, automatically the gallery opens up, they're getting the store credit. There's a whole philosophy behind it.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay, so this is another app. There's also kind of a specific product apps. Bespoke Wedding Books, it's an amazing book. It's a manually created album by the Isle Studios, and basically it adds a product to your store, and then it communicates with them in creating a very unique wedding album with lots of content.
Kind of like a kinfolk just for your wedding.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah, cool. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a very cool product. And of course, the digital gift card, the Send product. This is a very interesting app. It helps you when we talk about that you can send product. Remember, I showed in the gallery, in the store that you can design an album and then send it, or design any product and send it to your client. So this app is using the same capability for you to make a design, but then it follows up with the user until they purchase or not. But it increases the capability for purchase. The conversion on this app is amazing, but not a lot of photographers are using it. So
okay, cool. I'll keep my eye on that one. Add that to my notes. And I noticed you've got an abandoned cart there, one which was something I was talking to you about. That's awesome.
Yeah. The abandoned cart is one of the most successful apps. It's like very, very simple, and it's doing really, really good. It's amazing how many people are leaving stuff in their cart, and a little reminder and a little discount will help them finish this purchase. Another one that is next to it that is really good is the anniversary app, which is like another kind of a celebration of their anniversary in an email, and then giving them some kind of a discount. It also works very, very good and helps you keep a good relationship, with your clients.
So in general, what we see that it's very important in order to have the online sales, or to have not only the sales, also to have online profits from that, is connect when you meet with the clients, is starting, or with your first engagement discussions with your clients, connect the online experience that's going to follow to this. So you need to talk about the gallery, you need to talk about the store. If you can show the products, one of the best ideas we saw that a very successful photographer is doing, she's sending fine art prints to her client as a package. Any client, when they sign up, she sends them the fine art, and she says, these are the prints that you can have in my store. So it connects them to the quality. It gives them good photos, like the nature or documentary photos she's doing. So they're getting very nice images, and also with a very high quality, and they can feel it. And now they know that this is what they're going to get if they purchase at the store. And of course, these apps, if you're starting, I would really recommend using the early bird and gallery expiration, and definitely the abandoned cart and anniversary.
Yeah, the basic starting point.
Basic starting point, and definitely look into the more complicated workflows, as the gallery to backup, the rolling publish, gallery boost. These are different holistic approaches to this session. So they are also very interesting. And if you're a portrait photographer, definitely Simple Sales system. Have a look at it.
So good, guys. I'm so excited about this. I can't wait.
We're in front of the screen for too long. I don't know what's maybe do you have like other kind of things that you want to more like more specific?
The only other thing I was kind of thinking is, what if I had two brands? What if I was let's say trying to pivot with everything going on with COVID, and so my bookings are down for weddings, and I decide I want to start shooting pets.
Okay.
So we see it a lot. I'll start with the brands. So here, this is a demo account, so you can see we have lots of brands with all the photographers.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah.
For each photographer that we use their photos, we open the brand. So when you look at the photos, you have the brand. So you can have multiple brands in the system, and each brand has all the settings, for their logos, social media links. There's lots of settings you can set up of how you want the brand to appear. Amazing. So this is a multi-brand. Related to COVID, people doing more kind of a portrait. This, what you said, like photographing pets, is very similar to a portrait. It's just different angles, I think, of the same business time, I would really recommend you to look on the simple cell system.
Okay.
You said, I think Amir said it 3 times. He's
Because
like,
I see it, it's good. I see it.
yeah,
You see the results. You see the results on the back end.
It works.
results are
It
amazing.
works.
I can explain it in 1 minute. I think that will give you something clear about it. The photographer is setting a smart, like a smart slide. You can do it with smart slide.
I can show it.
But basically, no, I think it's, I don't know, I think it's okay. But basically, you give a slideshow and they can see the photos only for 24. This is her, strategy. But you can change parameters. They see the photos for 24 hours. And then once they saw it, they have 3 packages to choose from. 1, 2, 3, like she's targeting, of course, for the middle. And then the clients will buy one of the packages, and only then the gallery opens and they can see the images.
Let's show it quickly. After that, you can edit. And
That sounds amazing. Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah.
So you're doing the pet session. Let's say this is it's a family session.
Yep.
You can upload your slideshow, and also, so you can upload the slideshow and all the photos, and then you go to the automation. Let's see if the slideshow is still up there, and let's remove that. So I just want to show that the workflow is you go in, you upload your gallery, and then you choose the simple cell system. It asks you which gallery is the preview, which scene is the preview. I've marked preview, and that's it. I'm done. So now the whole workflow from this moment on is automatic.
Including the emails that are sent,
Everything.
Explaining everything.
And now, what is this workflow? So let's start with the preview. Now I'm using this piece of the preview. It's a mechanism for me to simulate, to show you how it's going to look.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm getting into the gallery. Yeah, so you can see the slideshow here, the preview. That's it. You don't see the other photos.
Yeah.
And I'm at the decision point. Which package do you want to purchase? Basic, standard, or premium? Okay. Each package will have a different price point, and of course, different. So for here, you're getting for the basic, you're getting 20 high res. With the standard, you're getting all the high res plus. And premium, all the high res plus other products. So it's store credit and the biggest store credit. Basically, there's a lot of things, a lot of thinking going into that. And for example, she recommends that each package will have a print, even if it's a small print.
Yep.
So even if you're selling all inclusive, and let's say the basic package is 0 because you already purchased, then give for free, give a print 5x7, something small, give it for free, because when clients get into the purchase, if it's for free, they'll go to the store and try to order, and then usually they order more.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of recommendations going on how to build each of these packages. And the idea for 3 is, because we're getting a lot of questions, why 3? 3 is really the optimum in converting your clients.
Good, better, and best.
Say it again?
Having that good, better, or best, in terms of the sales. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole purpose is moving people from the basic to the standard, as many as you can. So the premium is helping people to pull from the basic to the standard and increasing your average return on a gallery. Okay, so they're getting this. There is a blackout period. The blackout period is basically saying that you see the preview, and you have some time, 24 hours, 48 hours, or you don't, longer periods depending on you. She recommends the 48 hours, I think. And then after that, the photos are gone. You need to make a decision.
Yeah. Great urgency.
And let's say we purchased one of the options. Let's say we purchased this one. Okay. So the gallery will automatically change to this. So it will show all the photos now.
Yeah.
And now if I want to download, it will tell me you have 20 free high-res to download. Okay, so it will start counting for me the photos, and beyond that, I will need to purchase. So the whole package with the store credit, everything is automated. So this is like a whole mechanism, sales mechanism that happens hands-free. You set it up, and it goes with you, and it's very good for
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because that would take so long to set up if you had to go in and do that for every single wedding, you know.
Yeah.
Just,
and if you want to do it manually, then you'll have to deal with it all the time in real time, to speak with your clients, collect the money, or change the settings of the galleries and so on.
yeah, phenomenal. What would be, I'm just trying to think, if I was the consumer and someone came to me and said, okay, well, I have to make a decision. I guess they get to see that preview, so they've seen some of the images, because quite often you'll do these shoots where, let's say for a family session, where you do the shoot and they get one free print, but then they don't end up buying anything because they're, number one, there isn't any urgency about it, and they have too long to think about it, or they get sidetracked with other things, other expenses, or whatever it might be. So this basically means that the only way for them to see their entire collection is via choosing one of those three options.
Yeah. So the taste of the photos. The slideshow gives them the taste of the photos, and they cannot download.
It's with music, so it's, you know, it's more. It's not just the taste of the photo. It's like you're getting connected to it. Yeah, I mean, the slideshow. I don't know what's in her for in this one specifically, but it's like every time you put music with your images, it's more touching you in a different.
It makes such a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does the difference.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
So we talked about the change of things. So this is why in the system you have all these apps, different perspectives and ideas, and we see actually a lot of photographers during the COVID shifted from this wedding to either elopement or engagement, or small ceremonies, or portrait, different angles in portrait photography. And we think the apps platform is a very good place for you to combine the online world, which is with the COVID became more important, into your business.
Absolutely. Oh, there's so much strength in this program. Like, I'm blown away. I'm so excited.
One more thing that we said we will show. So there are two things I think we still want to show you. One is this gallery. Okay, this is so you can have this animated GIFs. Okay, inside the gallery itself.
Yeah, amazing. And could they download that GIF if they wanted to?
No,
the GIFs, they can download the GIF. Sorry, but it's not. You cannot print it or do something like that.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
the video and use it on their Instagram or whatever.
Yes.
This one they can.
Yeah. So this is for the GIFs. Another thing for the art. Let's go.
Yeah, we can show the art as well.
Yeah.
To think if do you use portfolio for your galleries?
No.
No, you don't have a portfolio in your website. Are you blogging? Like, how do you?
On my website I do. Sorry, I thought you were referring to PixieSet. Yeah, no. Inside my website, I do blog posts, and I have portfolio weddings that are kind of like the main ones that people see when they initially come onto the website.
Okay, so just know that there is an option to integrate a portfolio of your galleries into your website, and then clients can get in if they want to see like samples, and you can use a few images for each gallery, and then they can just get into the galleries and see it. But if you're doing like an active blog all the time, then you probably don't need it.
Right.
But those who are
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, could I use this as a tool, for example, like I get an inquiry for a wedding that is at a venue I've shot at before.
Yeah.
And in the past, I've sent some clients to a previous wedding I've shot there. But if I created a gallery that was specific to a venue, then I could create a whole bunch of different venue galleries that I could then point to people. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can have them in your website. So you can decide that you're doing it by venues. Your portfolio catalog can be by venues, and each venue will have its own project. And then you can have a sneak peek. If the gallery was private, you can have just like, I don't know, 15 photos from that place, from that event, and it will be a gallery, like a shorter gallery, only with Pinterest option, and that's it. There's no other thing in this gallery. So it's more for integration with your website.
Amazing.
Okay, one more thing is the art gallery. So this is an art gallery is a different animal. It's a gallery. The layouts are much more flexible. And basically, it's a gallery that showcase your fine art or your photos, the photos you take for yourself, not for a specific client. Yeah. It can be picture, documentary, portraits, whatever you do.
And so this is James Frosty?
Yes. So you can see a gallery can have also a header, which can be an image or a video with some text that you write on it. We're trying to bring the artist as close as possible to the user when they see it. So they can have their thing here, and when I go into a photo, I can have explanation about the photo. And at the end of the day, it's targeting you to purchase products.
Yeah.
So it's not just to see the photos, it's really targeted for purchasing products. So you can set up which products, and it's not editable. So when the user edits it, the user orders it, they cannot edit, they cannot change the cropping or anything. You set up the price, you set up exactly the product, and it's connected to the fulfillment network, so everything is automated there. Okay, so this is an example for this gallery. This is another gallery.
You have a lot of option of how to set it up, the layout you're using, the colors you're using. We give you tools to, bring more context with the work, and not just putting the images out there as any online shop, just to give more space to your personality, your aims, your inspiration, everything that is like about your creation of your art.
Here, this is the portfolio of art galleries. So there's a lot of, each one of these is an art gallery from, this is Ryan. And when I go into the gallery, here, for example, I can see a video in the header. He has a video in this exhibition. And here he also recorded some audio.
Wow, how good.
This image of my friend Rachel's hands is one that's really grown on me over time.
So the idea is that trying to bring trying to bring.
Ryan knows how to. If you have time, get into it. It's like really. It's on our website. It's really interesting. Even for me, it was interesting to hear what is standing behind this image. What is the theme? How it was created. It's really interesting, and then you can put it in your story. Like there's a real added value to it.
I was going to say it's a real way of adding a connection between the image and the person viewing it, to then form that emotional connection, to be able to go, hell yeah, I want this now. Like, even more so.
Exactly. Yeah. There's big value to that.
So this is also the art gallery. It's another product. So we have the client galleries, art galleries, as part of this platform.
Stunning.
And I didn't mention it, we didn't mention it, but if you have a product from a company, like let's say you mentioned Atkins that you work with. So if you have something from them that is not in our product, you can create a custom product. So it will show in your store with the images and everything. And you can automate it to with an email to the printer. So that's an option too. But I
Amazing.
think our system is so big and so overwhelming. I think it can be overwhelming. So I hope it wasn't like too much.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to need a week to kind of do it well and do it properly. But I wonder whether there's a space there for some sort of an almost workflow checklist for people who are going to make the switch over to you guys. You know what I mean? Like almost having, even if it was a PDF, I know that sounds really simple, but for my brain, just to have something where I am able to pretty much check the boxes and go, right, the first thing I need to do is this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then methodically work through that to make that.
I think it's actually a good idea. I just wrote it in a note. I think it's a very good idea. I mean, I think that most of the people will start, I mean, we build it this way that you can really fast upload your first project and see the store and everything is like working. But it will be great also to create like a checklist of the things. So you won't miss a lot of things. For example, Amir didn't mention we have templates for the setup. You can create scenes in advance. You can do a lot of things that are like in a template, and it's ready for you. Each one, it saves you time in the workflow. So if you're not doing it in the beginning, you can miss it. So well, definitely the idea of a checklist is great, I think.
Okay, like you've got nothing else to do, right? Nothing else on the list.
No, but it's always good to to hear feedback from first hand, and if you're going to start, what is going on in your head when you're about to start a new software? Like, what do you need? So it's great.
So maybe just having that checklist would help sort of bring me back to where I need to pick up again, because as you know, as a small business, you kind of, you're constantly needing to generate income to keep family food on the table and all that kind of stuff. And so it's quite easy to get distracted by, for me, for example, whether it's my wedding photography business or whether it's running the wedding photography competition and then fitting in this as well. So just having that reference to sort of come back to focus me back into it, it would be a great tool. Even if it is just for me, you can just create that just for me.
No, we'll definitely work on this.
Yeah, cool.
There is a kind of an email chain that
there is the email. Yeah, there is a set of I think 7 emails that you're sent throughout the duration of the 30 days, and in each one we kind of introduce you to something in the system. So we went through all the major things in those emails. But you want to, like if automation, for example, is important to you, then we can have a list of all the things that can be automated. But you'll see in the 30 days, you'll be guided by the emails, and there's a great knowledge base in the system, and that is on the left side of the dashboard, so you can type any questions. And we have a live chat that is open 24/7 for you and for your clients.
Wow.
So if you have a question, or if a client has a question about like, hey, I'm in this page of the editor, what do I do? How do I add for all the moms that need some help? So we have this open. And in holidays, we have full shifts.
Well, guys, thank you so much for your time. You should both be so proud of what you've created, because, I mean, I'm not even using it and I'm so excited about it. I cannot wait. And it's blown my mind. So, thanks again also for supporting the awards and getting on board with it. And we can't wait to see who gets to walk away with some subscriptions to your wonderful service. And thanks for supporting the community, and we cannot wait to see what comes next in Pic-Time world.
Yeah.
So actually tomorrow something comes next.
Yeah, we update a lot in this. Move, like the product is very in a lot of progress all the time.
Tomorrow we update the portfolio. There's a major update around the portfolio, and with the art creation path, we had feedback from clients that they wanted a massive amount for creating a lot of products into the art galleries. So we added that. And later this year, there's a big thing coming, as I said.
Ooh, awesome. Exciting.
We're working hard on that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to leave you now because I'm sure you're in your morning there, so I'm sure you've got breakfast to have and coffees and kids to sort out. So, thanks again, and yeah, we look forward. We'll definitely organise a catch up on IGTV Live so that anyone can jump on and ask any other questions that we haven't already covered as well. Sort of maybe next week or something.
Yeah, sure, no problem. We're here.
All right.
Thank you so much.
See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.